also another day when I'm really, really tired, and on top of that, quite sad. Been one of those days where tears just keep coming, and that is a bad day, I guess. I read a friend was talking about her child's baptism and the choice of godparents, and how sad she was because one of them didn't seem to be into being godparent. And it reminds me about how devastated I was when this happened with Joe. Or it actually didn't happen, because the person I asked to be Rose's godfather didn't even reply, and that still hurts. I mean, it still hurts that the person who get that trust and get the honor of being asked something like that, because it's honor, it's a huge honor to ask something like that, don't even have the decency to say no, to not even show that kind of respect to me and Joe, to say no. Why to say no to something like that, I don't understand, but it still hurt. It hurt a lot then, and it still hurt, and I talk about that in the episode called Bad Guys and something more, and it really, yeah, it's a bad person to do such things like that. It's sad, and you might argue it was right, it was the wrong choice if somebody said no and so on, but I still don't really think so. I still think that it could have been, but it would have been a really good take. I think Roe has such a positive impact on people that it turned out as something very good for both of them, because I like Roe to be surrounded by people who aren't exactly like me, but can give her other views and yeah, show other parts of life simply. And I believe you could. And I'm really sad that he chose not to. And I mean, naturally, he's the one losing. His biggest loser is Rue's not the loser in any way, but she just has one godparent, a godmother, because to me it's more important to pick the right person you really want than the amount of godparents. I think that it should always be important to pick a person you absolutely want the most, not one who fits in to the stereotype of it, or fits in the best with or is most expected by other people, because sometimes our expectations to pick your brother or whatever, but it should be somebody that you feel are able to give this to a child, a spiritual and religious part of it too. And I believe this was the right choice, but apparently I was wrong. But well, I don't think I was. Well, anyway, he thinks I was. And this also reminds me about some research I read about negativity and simply shit-talking when it comes to people. But if you have a negative attitude, if you whine a lot and say a lot of negative things about people, but naturally it affects how you view somebody. If you say something negative about people once enough, time after time after time, after a while you feel like this is really a thought. And before, people have thought that this was a psychological process, but this is also a physical process. And so if you are talking badly about somebody and false grounded, you will after a while actually feel that this is the right thing to do. And that's quite horrifying. I think that's it's scary. It's so easy to get a picture of somebody that isn't correct, and then actually change your chemistry in your body, that it gets more negative. And also, if you say something negative about one person, you're more likely to say negative things about other people, not just because it's simple to do it and it's in personality. We just usually say it's in our personality, but it's actually in our chemistry, in our bodies, in our genes. And it's also affecting our DNA. So if you are talking badly about people and being a negative person and being mean to others, you will not, even if you and have a child, even if you give up for child production, that child will carry this with them in their genes, this negativity with them, and that is pretty horrifying. And to me, that is just another proof of that we all should always try to be forgiving, to be respecting, to be understanding, even if other people think it's annoying, and always keep as a clean heart and clean mind as possible, because sadly this negativity is has a stronger impact on body than positivity, but positivity also has an impact on you. Being a good person makes other people feel good around you, and makes it more likely for them to also be nice to others. As my friend in Ireland says, it's nice to be nice, and I completely agree. And I try to keep that in mind days like this when I'm really feeling bad and sad and just want to cry. But it's much better to focus on positive things in life and try to keep a clear heart.